Time to wake up. It's Saturday morning. Find some milk and cereal. Grab a bowl and spoon. No, a bigger spoon. Head to the living room and take a seat on the floor while Joseph and Chris present to you Saturday Morning Cartoon!
Hello everybody, welcome to Saturday Morning Cartoon Boom! This is a show where we wake up with the Saturday morning sun, popped on the floor of Big Blood Sugar cereal, and sorry for cartoons, both old and new. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Chris.
And this morning, for the final episode of our October celebration, we watched Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf. Ooh. And we should add that this is also the last part of the Red Shirt saga.
Yes!
And for anyone who doesn't know what that is the last time we see Shaggy in his red shirt. Which true. Only happened, I think, on 4 occasions. Well, you have to include 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo as just a single occasion. Yeah. And then you've got the Scooby-Doo meets the Boo Brothers. And you've got Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School. And now this one, Reluctant Werewolf, last time he wears it.
Do you think the reason that, like, in these movies and 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo and stuff, that he's not with the Scooby Gang any longer is because, like, I've come down to there's like 2 reasons here. One, he's having like a quarter life crisis and he quit, and, like, you know, Scooby went with him and Scrappy went with him because nobody likes Scrappy. And that's why he's now doing random things. Or do you think that Scrappy got so annoying that the 3 of them got kicked out of the Scooby Gang? And, like, you know, Shaggy's trying to reinvent himself by wearing a red shirt.
The flaw that I see in that is in 13 Ghosts, Daphne's there too. So unless she left the gang as well.
I imagine that she left for a time and then realized that, wow, Shaggy is a loser and I went the wrong way. And then she went back to Fred. So,
well, I've actually got some official theories that have been put out about the red shirt thing, but I'm going to save those for the marshmallows. So I'll wait till I get there. Yep.
Got it.
So the movie Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf aired in 1988. Scooby-Doo originally was created by Joe Ruby and Ken Spears. This movie was written by Mark Burnett and directed by Ray Patterson, produced by, of course, Hanna-Barbera Productions. And for a short synopsis, Shaggy has turned into a werewolf, and it's up to Scooby, Scrappy, and his girlfriend to help him win the contest. And if you didn't know Shaggy had a girlfriend, well, you wouldn't be alone, because this is the only time I think she ever appears in any form. And I really think the only time I ever see Shaggy with a girlfriend.
Yeah, I got to imagine this relationship probably didn't last long. Here's what I think. I think, like, I'm going to tie a lot of theories together here, like a lot of theories, and it's going to make sense.
Okay, we'll see.
The reason that Shaggy, well, he's got this girlfriend for a while. You know she's not going to last. And the reason Daphne was with him for a little bit, or with them when they left the Scooby Gang, is because Shaggy's the weed guy. Shaggy's the one with the connections and stuff. I mean, you know, him and Scooby are always eating. They're always giggling and stuff. You know, they're super high all the time. He's the one with the weed. So Daphne's like, oh, I'm going to go where the weed is. But then she's just like, nah, this sucks. She met Flim Flam and she's like, I'm out of this. And that's why she went back to the other Scooby Gang. And then that's how Shaggy's getting his girl, Googie. Because, I mean, what kind of name is that? Like, that's not a regular person. That's only someone that's after some weed. So this is my theory.
I don't know how much weight it holds, but we'll go with that only because I never really see Shaggy interested in relationships, period, or women, really.
He's not even really interested in Googie, to be honest.
You know, I mean, he does get, like, supercharged by her kiss. Like, I don't know. It's a whole thing. We'll get into it.
Yeah.
So who are some of the actors who played in this movie? Actually, you know, just to, you know, beat you to the punch a little bit, there were so many, like, stars in this thing. I was really surprised by the voice cast. Like, it was everybody you would think of.
Yeah, we had some real good ones. So for the usual ones, of course, Scooby and Scrappy were voiced by Don Messick, and Shaggy voiced by Casey Kasem. That is the case, no pun intended there, in any of the old Scooby-Doo cartoons. The voice of Googie was provided by B.J. Ward. Yes, this girl's name is Googie. The voice of Dracula, provided by Hamilton Camp. The voice of Brunch, provided by Rob Paulson. The voice of Crunch, provided by Frank Welker. That was an easy one to pick out.
Yeah.
The voice of Frankenstein was Jim Cummings. The voice of the Mummy was Alan Oppenheimer. And the voice of Vanapyra was Pat Music.
Yeah, so that's like every single person on that, with the exception of maybe the guy who played Dracula. I recognize the name from other things we've done multiple times. Like, we've stated those names. I mean, we even talk about Frank Welker all the time just because he's really in almost everything.
Yeah, I mean, he is the voice of Fred in the regular Scooby-Doo cartoons. I mean, and even for all of these separate ones where Fred's not in the picture, Frank is always back voicing something. It's usually a monster of some sort.
Him voicing Fred is strange to me because that's such a normal voice. It's like, it's almost like not really utilizing his talent.
Because Fred really is like his normal voice, basically.
But you can tell right away, like, Crunch is him just because of the strange, I couldn't even replicate how Crunch talks. It's so weird.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can hear that kind of, whatever effect he's doing with his voice, you hear that in some of his other roles, like with Megatron.
Well, yeah, like Megatron,
and,
yeah.
That one from Dino Riders. And,
Krulos, yes. Yeah,
Krulos. You can hear this. There's some sort of weird raspiness, and I remember like hearing another voice actor describe it as like it's almost like Frank Welker has like two sets of more vocal cords than normal, and like just a massive amount of air in his lungs that he can make these noises and voices that other people just can't do, which is why he's in almost everything. Because he really is like one of the most talented people in the business. Like he had to have made a deal with some sort of devil at some point. That's true. That's true. And he's like the only one from the original gang that's like still alive, I think, you know, and in really good health too. Like dude's totally fine and still doing just as much stuff as he did in his 20s and 30s. And he's in his 70s. So, and he still sounds just as good, still just as impressive. You can't notice a difference with his voice now. It's crazy. For a few tasty marshmallows out of our big bowl of Reluctant Werewolf cereal, this is the last time in the entire franchise that Scrappy-Doo is a hero. His only following appearance was as the villain in the live-action Scooby-Doo movie from 2002. Oh, thank God. So this is the end of Scrappy. Yes. Oh, so not only does this end the Red Shirt saga, it also ends the Scrappy saga. Oh, thank God. It's about time. This is like when you get to the end of the Frieza saga and DBZ, and you're like, finally, good Lord, it took like years just to get rid of this one character. Thank you. We're finally rid of him, except that there are lots of other Scooby cartoons we haven't done yet that I'm sure he's in. So, well, if it's in between 1988 and 2002, so that 14-year span, he does not appear in anything. Oh, thank God. Let's never include Scrappy again. If anyone recommends cartoons to us that he's in, please pick the episodes he's not in just for us. Do it as a present for us, a gift. No, now people are going to do the opposite, and it's going to stay on the bottom because that's Scrappy in it, and we're going to have to do it eventually. Yeah. At least it's not Flim Flam. That's true. The Red Shirt saga, as we mentioned, I read this article on MeTV, METV.com, and it was interesting because it was this year that it was written about this red shirt thing. And it's this is such like an old thing that it's funny that it came up. But one of the hypotheses that is on like the fan theories, the Scooby-Doo fan theories thing is that there's a convoluted plot in which the red shirt Shaggy is stuck in an alternate time loop. There is a dude on Reddit who speculated it is because the price of green paint was too high. Oh. Yeah, in Star Trek, red shirts always die, so maybe red shirt Shaggy is a ghost himself. Oh. And then the theory that MeTV had in that article, like their own theory, is that the human characters in Scooby-Doo were based on the teenagers from the 1950s sitcom The Many Loves of Dobie Gillis, and Shaggy was modeled after Maynard G. Krebs, the beatnik beautifully betrayed by Bob Denver, and Bob Denver is Gilligan from Gilligan's Island, and Gilligan always wore red, so he is wearing red to honor the character Gilligan, who was played by Bob Denver, who his character was originally based on from a different show. Interesting. I'm looking at Maynard G. Krebs right now. Oh my God. Yeah, that's Shaggy, dude.
Totally. Wow. Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
That's crazy. I never even thought about that. I mean, he's got even the soul patch and the little beard.
Yeah, it's weird. Oh man, I can totally see it.
So that theory honestly kind of makes the most sense. It's not like throwing it completely out of like the blue, but honestly, it's probably just to try to update his look a little bit, because Daphne, something else they mentioned was Daphne also had a different outfit in 13 Ghosts. So it was just kind of trying to update their outfits a little bit. Hers was more like the almost like a go-go dancer type outfit. Mm-hmm. And Shaggy, like, instead of wearing his brown pants and green shirt, he just kind of updated to jeans and a red shirt. So he didn't have a huge change, but I guess they just switched his palette a little bit. Let us know what you think. Like, if you have your own theory, let us know.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, like, he should go back to the brown pants, you know, with how scared he tends to get. That's just saving him some embarrassment later.
Well, no, that's why his pants were brown. It's just like years and years of fear.
So he got new pants, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
He finally washed his blue jeans.
They're not new. They're just clean.
Yeah, I like that. That's the best theory out of all of them.
Right. So do you have any memories of this show? Or sorry, do you have any memories of this movie?
I thought I did, but I don't think I did. I think that this and Boot Brothers and 13 Ghosts and Ghoul School, I think all had blended together in my mind. And I think I talked about this a few times with some of the other ones that we did. I think it all blended together and I didn't know which one's which. And then I watched this and I'm like, oh man, I don't think I ever saw this.
Yeah, I thought I had seen this one too. Like, I assumed I would have, since it was from 88, because I thought it was one of the newer ones at first. And I was like, okay, no, so this is one of the original ones around the same time as, you know, Ghoul School and Boot Brothers. So I was like, oh, I'm sure I've seen it. But then coming into it, like the first scene and the first like setup with Shaggy racing, I was like, oh, there's no way I've seen this.
Yeah, exactly. That was my thought too. I'm like, I don't remember this. When did Shaggy become like a drag star, like a racer dude? Like,
I know.
What?
And it's like he's supposedly really good at it. And yeah, this is nothing we ever hear of him having really any talent whatsoever at anything. So maybe it's just been like something he's done on the side in addition to Mystery Inc.
Maybe he left because he got sober and then he realized his potential.
Yeah,
maybe that's what happened. He cleaned up his act and decided to dedicate himself to racing. But like he keeps getting tied in with the monsters and ghosts, man. He just can't help it.
He cleaned up his act. He cleaned up his pants. He's on a different track, on the right track.
He's like one of the Winchesters. Like, you could try to have a normal life, but it's just not for you.
No. And neither are clean pants.
Yeah. Not for me either.
No. So let's go ahead and start talking about the movie and what happened. Like I said, I mean, it opens with them like in a race. And we meet Googie right away, who, you know, we're like, who is this person? It's just his girlfriend. She actually ends up being pretty cool. Like, I don't mind her. She's not annoying or anything. So she's a fine addition to the movie. It's not bothersome.
I like how she is later, though, because, I mean, when they first introduce her, they make her kind of stupid. Or at least they give that vibe that she's dumb. But then as the movie goes on, she's really like the only reason that Scooby and Shaggy are alive, pretty much.
Yeah, that's true. Once she becomes like the lookout, but yeah, we'll talk about that. So after the race is won, we transfer over to Transylvania, the darkest, deepest Transylvania, where Dracula is meeting with all these different monsters. So already I'm excited about it because I'm like, oh, this is awesome. These are like universal monsters getting together, you know, plus kind of like iterations of some of the other monsters. Like for some reason, Bride of Frankenstein is Repulsa and she's hideous. And that bothered me a little bit. I was sad about that.
Yeah.
And then you've got, instead of the Fly, you know, Jeff Goldblum's The Fly, you have the Dragonfly. I mean, I don't know if that's who it's even based off of or anything, but it's just a random guy in there.
And they straight up just stole Swamp Thing. They named him the same and everything. I was like, whoa.
I was wondering about that. I was like, wow, did they do that intentionally? Like, how do they get away with that, I guess?
I have no idea.
And why not just call him the Swamp Monster?
Yeah,
like,
they could have just called him Swamp Monster or Swampy or, you know, I don't know.
Yeah,
Stinky.
But I was thinking the same thing when I heard that. I was like, really? Okay, well, whatever. The issue is that the werewolf has retired. Like he's just like on a beach somewhere. And instead of doing this annual race that they do, which is, what was it called? The like monster.
I don't even remember. But like they do this race to basically settle who's the best, who's the monster of the year. I guess they can't do it unless they have all the monsters participating. Now, even though there's a very werewolf-looking monster among them, they apparently don't have a werewolf, and they need one. And there's this book that Dracula consults that tells them like who the next werewolf's going to be. And he opens it up, and there's just a drawing of Shaggy, and
oh yeah,
they immediately know who he is. He's like, Shaggy. I guess they had a certain time span in which he had to be hit by a beam of moonlight to turn. And to make sure that happens, he sends the Hunch Bunch, which are these two little hunchback guys named Brunch and Crunch. What's funny to me and also kind of sad, all of these monsters, as hideous as they are, they're creeped out more by these two just hunchback dudes, which is so sad. And I feel bad for any, normal person that has this condition that's watching this movie and is just like, oh.
Yeah, they're really scared of them for some reason. They don't do anything that's particularly fearsome. They're just kind of annoying.
I mean, one of them has an English accent and talks like all proper, and the other one just sounds like an idiot and spits all the time when he talks.
Yeah, but I guess they're a fearsome duo of some sort, the Hunch Bunch. And so, yeah, they're sent after Shaggy. I also like that they had kind of an iteration of Vampira. They had Vanapira.
Yeah.
And she was like, the more intelligent Googie got throughout the movie, the dumber Vanna seemed to get. Like
that's exactly what I thought too.
They just exchanged roles. Yeah, so the setup is the moon is in the perfect position every 500 years for 3 nights only, and they have to hit them like at a particular time in the night. And of course, like it goes through these iterations of them trying to get to Shaggy and put him in the moonlight, but something keeps stopping them on day 1 and then day 2. And day 3, they're at the drive-in theater, and then Shaggy, like, I like their car. It's like some kind of dune buggy type thing. Yeah. I don't know exactly what it is. They essentially, Googie just wants Shaggy to put the top of the vehicle down because it's romantic moonlight or whatever, and they're watching, I don't know what they're watching, some kind of
like
horror
not even
movie.
Paying any attention. Like she's trying to she's throwing herself at him, and he's just drinking his soda, like not giving 2 craps. Like Shaggy's just such a player. It's terrible. He's like, I don't need this. He's like, I already hooked up with my side chick before this. I'm good.
And they finally force the top of the convertible thing down. The Hunch Bunch does, and moonlight hits him, but he has a hiccups at the same time. So it puts him in a spot where every time he hiccups, like he transforms back into human form and vice versa. So it's one of those where it's a whole scene of him hiccuping and then growling, and then Googie getting upset at him growling, and then him switching back.
I didn't understand some of this because, like, at first when he changed, he was growling like he had no control of himself. Later on, I mean, pretty quickly, when he changes, he's just still talking in his normal voice and has his normal faculties about him and can remember things. Whereas when it first happens, he can't remember what's going on when he changes. And I just thought that was very strange. I mean, it's not a big deal. I just wasn't really sure what they were going for at first.
I'm wondering if it was just his first time transformations were kind of like, he wasn't used to it yet. And then I guess he got used to it real quick. The Hunch Bunch grabs him, takes him in the Batcopter. There's a lot of like bat vehicles. Like I feel like Batman got infringed upon a little bit here too.
Oh, I did want to say though, that, like, to reiterate how everyone views these hunchbacks. At the drive-in theater, Shaggy goes to get some snacks, and everybody's like, he's a werewolf. People are freaking out, but he gets to the snack counter, and the guy's not intimidated at all, like looking right at him as a werewolf, and he's just like, yeah. and getting the stuff. But when those two hunchbacks show up, that dude freaks out and he's like, monsters. And I'm like, dude, there's.
Oh, yeah. They're also, that's what they're watching. They're watching like a hunchback movie. Too.
I'm like, come on, man. Like, so the real people out there have this condition. They're not monsters. I felt so bad.
All of them. Simpler times.
Yeah. If you've got scoliosis, you don't need to dress up for Halloween.
When they finally get to Transylvania, like everybody gets woken up by some revival spray or something. And then they are kind of explaining the situation to Shaggy. Like, you have to be in this race, blah, blah, blah. You know, second place gets a vacation to Hawaii. First place gets all expenses paid month in the Black Hole of Calcutta.
Yeah.
And they win the Monster of the Year award. So, like, he's not convinced. He doesn't want to stay. And then Dracula mentions, like, delicious food. And then he's like, oh, hold on. Like,
exactly.
Guys, let's hear him out.
But the kind of food they had was not the kind they wanted. There was a lot of gross stuff, and there was like scream beans.
There were scream beans. Yeah, I was wondering about the bat burgers, though. Now, what is the line between Dracula eating a bat burger and turning into a bat?
Oh, I mean, it's
is there
straight up
cannibalism,
dude.
Well, see, like, because he's transforming in the same way that a wolfman eating a wolf. Would that? I don't know if it counts. I don't know. I don't know where the line is.
Maybe it's another loophole we found. Just like with turning from a tomato into a spry young girl.
That's right.
There's a loophole that if you're a bat that can turn into a human, you can eat other bats. That's fine.
You can date other bats if you want to.
Yeah, or tomatoes.
Yeah.
Is it weird to you that Dracula was green?
You know what? It bothered me a little bit. Not bothered me, but like at first I was concerned about it. And then I just completely like forgot about it after a while. Because I was expecting it to be more of a shade of white. Like not like peach white, but like white. Like you see in most iteration.
Exactly.
And but yeah, so they had some strange coloration on him. Here's where I thought the green should have really been used. So they had a character, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Snide, I think it was, instead of Hyde.
Yeah.
But when he transformed into Mr. Snide, he was still, Caucasian
Singular,
white. Like he didn't. It could have been green. Like that could have been where they used their green. If they had a limit on green, they should have used it there.
Green paint's expensive. We just found this out from Reddit.
Well, yeah. I mean, the paint they saved from changing Shaggy's shirt from green to red, they could have used on Snide's face.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Instead, they used it for Dracula.
Something that Dracula kept doing, like he would tell something to Shaggy in a voice that was obviously him lying. And then he would cross his fangs, which is a very strange thing.
Yeah, that was gross looking. I don't like that.
It was weird enough to hear him like saying it, but then watching it happen, it's like, whoa, like they're like twisting around each other. So with that in mind, I guess Dracula is able to change the length, and his fangs are very malleable, which I didn't understand.
I didn't know that vampires could do that with their fangs, but
hey, more power to him.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
So he makes him this deal because Shaggy doesn't want to be a werewolf. And he says, okay, well, if you race and you win, then I will change you back into a human and end the curse. So they're like, oh, all right, I guess we got to do that then. There's a party, a pre-race party where they're playing the werewolf rock.
They had spiderweb spaghetti. They had wart pudding, plasma pizza, and literal finger sandwiches.
I like how we questioned the bat burgers, but not the finger sandwiches.
I expect monsters to eat humans. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's just like these poor bats. And Dracula is a bat. So you would think as the head of these monsters, he would be against that.
The bats
I
weren't
guess he
even
just
dead.
doesn't care. That's true. No, they were flying around. Those burgers were flying. Oh, something I noticed also, because we had just watched something else where... in Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, the Dracula in that show was wearing Sunblock 99 to block the sun and be out in the sun. And in this one, Dracula had to wear Sunblock 5022 to be out in the sun. So he had he had no concern about being burnt up by the sun because he had a really strong sunblock on.
Yeah, it's true. It's common for vampires to use really high SPF. They burn very easily and severely.
And turn to dust.
Yeah.
In some cases.
And that's just a mess.
He sets Shaggy up with room service so that he tells him he can order any food he wants except for angel food cake. It's like, okay. And Shaggy wants to test the course. with the normal car. They don't want him to at first, but they're like, it's fine because I'm going to switch the course around. Like Dracula, and this is where like I didn't know what Dracula's plan was at first. Like I didn't know he was going to just like try to sabotage him the whole way. Like he gets Shaggy to become this werewolf, and then he doesn't want him to win at all. So he's trying to cheat in order to make him lose. It's like they're really setting Shaggy up to lose this whole thing. So I guess so that one of them can become the monster of the year, or Dracula wants to become the monster of the year. Oh, and they encourage cheating.
That I don't get, because Dracula wasn't even competing, so he couldn't have won anyway. So I don't understand what the plan was.
That's true. But he was very against Shaggy winning. Like I wonder who he was rooting for. Like who he wanted to win. What I loved about this whole thing was that the way that the races were, or the way that the monster race was, a monster rally, it was set up almost like Wacky Racers, if you've ever seen that show. I don't think we've done that for this, for Cartoon Boom yet, but I really would like to someday.
Yeah.
And that's what it felt like to me, where the monsters are kind of, some of them sometimes they're like co-op together, but they're in these themed cars that have these specific abilities. And I just thought that was so cool. That is like what makes like the perfect toy for me. Like I don't think they made any toys of this movie, but it would have been great, and I would have totally bought into it. Like that's just a cool idea. I enjoy those types of themes like they had in Wacky Racers.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Like these would have made really good toys, and yeah, I don't think they did make any, but they should have. So with all of the designs, which one did you like the best?
Well, okay, so let me list them out first, and then we can kind of go from there. So you've got Frankenstein and Repulsa in the Freaky Frankenwagon. You've got Swamp Thing in the Slime Speedster. You've got the Witch Sisters in the Cauldron Coupe. You've got Mr. Bone Jangles in his Bone Bomber. You've got the Mummy in the Mummy Mobile. You've got Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Snide in the Split Personality Special. You've got the Dragonfly in his Dragon Dragster. And then Shaggy's in the Werewolf Wagon. Out of all of those, that's a tough call. Like I liked the Freaky Frankenwagon because of it seemed to have like the most abilities, the most diverse, and it also had that electricity that it was able to shoot out. As far as simplicity goes, I liked the Bone Bomber. Like that one was very straightforward. It didn't really have much to it, but I just liked the design of that.
My favorite was the Witches one, especially because like, so the front of it had those like snake things coming off on the sides, which looked cool. And the back had the big cauldron, and like the one witch like stirred the cauldron to make the car go faster. And I thought that was a cool idea. And then
that is cool. Yeah.
They were able to tip, the contents of the cauldron out at one point and in order to try to screw Shaggy up. And I thought that was pretty neat. The one I'm disappointed with the most was what was it, the werewolf wagon?
Yeah.
That had nothing to do with werewolves.
Yeah, it was like a Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah, it was like orange with a white stripe, and it had bull horns on top.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing any werewolves with horns like a bull.
I don't think it had any. It didn't even seem to have any abilities either. It was just.
It did have part of a skateboard underneath it.
That's true. That came out of nowhere. And apparently, so did
his regular car.
Shaggy's regular car. Yeah. Just conveniently, they both happen to have skateboard mode.
That made no sense.
Yeah. That was where I was like, okay, that's kind of weird, because what they could have done there was just use the cars as the skates themselves instead of popping those little skateboards out.
Would have made more sense.
Yeah, that's where it was like, oh, come on. Like, I know you're just like, it's a cartoon and you're just pulling things out, but I need some kind of logic here to explain these things. Like, there's no reason for them both to have this.
So the rest of the race kind of goes as you would expect, like lots of gags while everyone's trying to sabotage Shaggy and Scooby.
Well, Shaggy and each other too.
Yeah. The Hunch Bunch tries quite a bit. Frankenstein, the witches, the mummy, even Dracula gets in there several times, and it's just the constant sabotaging, while on the flip side of that, Scrappy and Googie keep going ahead of the race to scout what's going to happen. And then when things do happen, they immediately come in and fix it. Like in one part, Dracula just shows up and straight up just takes their engine, just pulls it out and walks off with it. And Googie and Scrappy show up within like a minute with a new engine and install it, and they're on the road again. I don't know, man. This part dragged so long. It just kept going and going and going. And I'm like, when is it going to stop?
Honestly, and this is not me saying anything bad about the movie really, because I really liked it, but I feel like this could have been condensed into an episode.
Yeah.
Maybe like a slightly longer episode, maybe 2 episodes, and that's it. Like, it did not need to be an hour and a half, which it was.
Yeah, and I feel like at least 50 minutes of that is this race, if not more. And that's
No, I think you're right.
Way too much. It was way too much. The formula got so repetitive at a time. I was constantly checking the time, like, how much is left of this? Like, how do they keep going?
How long is this race?
Seriously,
Yeah.
I was out of it by that point. The things I did like about this didn't have much to do with the race. I liked the crowd, which was funny. It was just a few peasants. I also liked Vanna Pyra's color commentary, which, like we said, she keeps getting dumber. So at this point, she's just like, that's orange and that one's blue and that's green.
And really, ultimately, she's the one who
She kind of helps
I
them
guess
in the end.
helps. Yeah. She accidentally helps Shaggy turn back into a regular human, because the idea is, and Shaggy ends up winning. Like, there's this thing at the end of the race where there's Genghis Kong comes out, like a giant Genghis Khan King Kong,
which was kind of racist in a way, because it was a big King Kong with a Fu Manchu mustache.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was the 80s, but yeah,
That's funny.
So he comes out, and that's when they use the skateboard, Operation Skateboard on him, which I guess they
was
had planned out
dumb.
this whole time. Yeah,
How did
that
they
I
know?
didn't like, but
How did they come up with this plan ahead of time?
they were prepared for everything.
It's so weird.
And so he wins, but Dracula's unwilling to like give him the satisfaction of turning him back into a human. He's just like, well, it can't be done. Like, it's impossible. And that's when Vanna Pyra jumps in, and she's just like, yeah, it can. Like, there's a spell in your book that does that or whatever. And that's so they're like, okay. And they just steal the book and run. And I guess to turn back, they're caught in a tornado storm because of some like doomsday weapon that the bat plane shoots down again, a Batman thing. They end up on top of an airplane flying, quote unquote, first class to
Back home.
back to their home. Yeah, I don't know how they get off of it or anything, but
Who
whatever.
knows? Things had escalated very quickly with Dracula, though, because as soon as like Vanna Pyra like let the go, he like physically threatens her, like he's gonna beat her. I was like, dang.
Oh, yeah, he says that a couple times. He's like, he does like the
honeymooners
Who
thing.
is it? The honeymooners. Yeah, like the bang, zoom,
Yeah.
right to the moon.
And then,
Yeah.
like, when they're trying to escape, he gets in a little airplane to chase him, and he's got a machine gun, man. He's just
Oh, that's right. Oh, but he's shooting fangs at them though with it.
yeah. So
which is
he's okay.
strange.
So that makes it better. He's got a machine gun that shoots teeth. That's
yeah,
that makes things
that's
so much
horrifying.
better.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so gross. That's messed up, man. But he gets hit by lightning, falls into the ocean, and then he's getting chased by a shark.
Yeah, apparently, I guess a shark is something that even Dracula fears. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
That was
I would
weird.
fear a shark.
Well, sure, but I mean, he can turn into a bat. Like, why didn't he just fly away? Maybe because he would have had wet wings. I don't know.
Yeah, that might mess you up. I don't know. I've never seen a bat swim. I can tell you that much.
True.
It's come close though. I
it-
did get run into by a bat while I was swimming once. It swooped down and like knocked into my head.
But it didn't fall into
It
the
didn't
water.
fall into the water. It was able to like use my head as a springboard, get back into the air. But there was some screeching and some cursing and freaking out by me for several minutes. So
I would imagine that's a unique experience.
it was pretty unique. Yes, that's a word to describe it.
That reminds me of this one time, one of my cousins, like we were out fishing at this little place. Like we were kids, like it was maybe, I don't know, middle school age or something. So we were out fishing at this river. Like this bird just like flies by and just poops right on him. And it's just like, it's like, and you know how birds poops are just like a shotgun of poop. It just like spreads.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just all over him.
But you remember,
and so,
like in Comic-Con that one year, I got pooped on twice in one day by those pigeons.
That's right. Yeah.
Once on the head.
Oh, yeah.
Went to the hotel, cleaned up, got outside to start walking back, right on the arm. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I was so
I
pissed.
forgot about that. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah. So when animals attack, that's the
Man.
subtitle
No
of the
joke.
show.
It's real.
So the spell to turn them back is just something, it's kind of like a shoehorned in thing where it's just like, oogly boogly wobbly why, no more werewolf am I I'm going to be a normal guy.
Yeah.
That's it. He just turns back. Yep.
Yeah. So it's easy.
They have a kind of a stinger thing at the end where you've got Dracula and the Hunch Bunch at his window saying like, we're back. But it's like you were never gone, really. So I don't think they actually do anything else or have any sequels to this directly. So I guess they just come back, say that, and then go back to Transylvania because they're like, well, we have no reason to be here.
I like
what
that.
are we going to do now?
They're probably out there like, we're back. And they're like, he doesn't notice us. They're like tapping on the window and like no one's looking. And they're like, man. And then,
he's not inviting us in, so we can't come in, or at least I can't.
So they just go back home because, I mean.
They just go home.
They're like, dang, that's embarrassing. They didn't even look up.
Yeah, because the 3 days are up. You can't turn him into a werewolf again.
Yeah, there's no point. So.
No.
Yeah, that was weird. That was a weird way to end it. I didn't care for that.
It really was. It could have ended just like it was, where they were just watching some kind of werewolf movie, having pizza, and just faking. Oh, and then Scooby comes out with a werewolf mask. Yeah, and that could have ended right there. Everybody laughing, and it would have been done. But they had to throw that thing at the end. That didn't make any sense.
He should have taken off the mask, giggled like he does, and then did the as the black vignette forms around him, just his face, and then it goes all to black. They should have done it, and they messed up, and that's why they should have hired me back in 1988 when I was 3. Because
when you were 3,
I could have helped them.
It's where they do that closeout thing where it's like dun 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 dun, and then it ends. Yep,
exactly. See, we know what we're talking about. Hanna-Barbera. You don't know. Hire us.
Yeah, like personifying Hanna-Barbera as just a single entity, as a person.
Exactly.
It's the fusion of Johanna or what is it, Joseph? I can't even remember their names now. It would have been funnier if I'd remembered.
Yeah, you failed.
Oh, well. Well, Chris, it looks like it's about time we dress our inner kids up as the little monsters they truly are, so we can enter them into the Monster Road Rally. Then, after they win us a nice trip to Hawaii, see what they thought of Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf.
I love Scooby and Shaggy and all the monsters, but I hate Scrappy and I hate racing. It's so boring. Ooh, I can make my car go faster than your car. Lame. Why can't we just see some good old-fashioned monsters committing murder and mayhem like they're supposed to? So I gave this cartoon 2.5 bowls of Scream Bean cereal out of 5.
Coming into this, I was already a fan of Scooby-Doo, Wacky Racers, and the Universal Monsters, so them all being combined into a single movie kind of blows my mind. For once, Scrappy wasn't that annoying, and I'm a little bummed that we never see Shaggy's girlfriend Googie after this because she turned out to be a very welcome addition to the cast. Even though at times it felt like they were just throwing everything they could think of up against the proverbial wall to see what stuck, they still ended up being a really fun entry into the Scooby-Doo movie franchise. Overall, I'd give Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf 4 big bowls of Bat Burger cereal out of 5. And let's see, if the moon reaches its perfect position every 500 years, and this movie came out in 1988, that means the next one will be happening in the year 2488. I'm not sure exactly how old you guys are, but you've got to be at least halfway there, right? Come on, I really want to be a non-reluctant werewolf.
I think if you're wanting to be a werewolf, oh, wait, yeah, you said non-reluctant.
Yeah.
You know what, though? I just learned words today. So we've all grown a little bit over the course of this episode, and I think that's something we can be proud of.
I'd be more of a willing werewolf, and accepting werewolf.
You know,
yes.
there was a festival here during the summer, and it was like a gypsy thing. And I kept trying to find a gypsy that knew about werewolf curses to see if they could put one on me, but none of them knew.
You just have to find one that has wolfsbane because she's trying to fend something off with that.
Instead, they were dancing around with like big fish costumes. And I don't mean big fish like the movie, which was a great movie, but they were just dressed as fish. And I'm not sure why that happened, but I'll accept it.
Someone was being sacrificed, I'll tell you that.
A fish.
Yeah.
So do you have any final thoughts on Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf?
Yeah, like I know this is one I hadn't seen before, and I really did enjoy it. There were some parts that I had to kind of push aside, but there were so many good elements to it that appealed to me. So the combination of that kind of helped me ignore some of the faults, especially the length of it. I agree with you, like it got a little long, especially in the race portion of it, and I too was checking the time to see like how long was left. And you could have shaved off at least 20 minutes of that race, and been fine. But it's like, I get they were building up to the race and that was going to be the biggest part of it, but it ended up being almost too big for it. That aside, I think it's a really fun movie. There's some great parts to it. I enjoyed the characters. I like what they did with the monsters. I enjoyed the cars, the Wacky Racers-esque tie-in to it. That was fun. Like I said, I liked Googie as a character. Her name just is so stupid. It feels weird coming out of my mouth, but I liked her as a character. I appreciate that this is the last time we ever see Scrappy, at least in cartoon format, up until, the 2000s or later. It was a nice addition to wrap up the Red Shirt saga. So, yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, you said it really well. And I'm unfortunately going to be repeating a lot of it, but these are my final thoughts, Joseph. Mine. I love the characters, except Scrappy, because I will always hate Scrappy. But at least in this one, like you said, at least we know this is his end. He's meeting his demise. And he had maybe 10 lines in this entire movie, which, that's okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. They listened to their fans and then got rid of them. So that's good.
Finally.
I loved the monsters. I loved the car designs. They were pretty much really awesome. They would have been amazing toys. But yeah, the race and therefore the movie as a whole just dragged on way too long. Like I said earlier, I was constantly checking to see how much time was left, especially during the race part. I can't even count how many times I looked. And I remember several times looking, I'm like, crap, it's only been 1 more minute. Like, what the, like, why? Why is this happening to me? They should have shaved off a lot of time from that race. And I feel like it would have been more fun to see more time trying to escape the castle originally, like when they were first captured, or escape Dracula after the race ended and had to do something like lock him away or something instead of him coming back. Like there's gonna be a sequel and then there isn't. That was kind of a pointless thing to me. The race was just cliche gags over and over and over until they kind of ran out of ideas. So I was really losing interest there, but I'm really glad that we watched this, that we finished the Red Shirt saga, and just to see some of the monsters. Like I said, the monsters were kind of some of the best part, and them and their cars were really cool. So overall, glad we saw it. Not one I'm looking forward to really watching again. Probably my least favorite out of all of the Red Shirt movies, at least.
Yeah, I could see that because the other ones were really strong, especially Ghoul School. Like that one's my favorite for sure.
Definitely.
So I was thinking about the race while you were talking about it just now, and I really think, as you were saying, the monsters were the strongest part of this movie. So had they focused more on the actual racing aspect of it and the monsters using their car abilities against each other, I think that would have been so much better. Had it not been so focused on Dracula trying to sabotage Shaggy for whatever reason, since he's not even in the race, I feel like that was what lengthened it so much and really kind of weakened the whole thing, where it could have been just a straight competition between the monsters. Like, why does it even matter that Shaggy was a, professional racer that we saw at the beginning if he doesn't really get to use any of it because he's being sabotaged back and forth? So yeah, it's like they wrote themselves into a corner there and just tried to force too much of Shaggy and the gang doing stuff in there instead of letting it be like a cool race against all these monsters. Like, why have these monsters there if you're not going to utilize them?
On another note though, we need some sort of indie game developer to create a monster racing game in this kind of style where like each monster has its own themed car with their own abilities that you can use against each other to try to win. That would be amazing.
God, that'd be awesome.
Someone needs to watch this movie specifically just to get these designs and some of the functions of those vehicles and make this happen. People, make it happen. Or donate lots of money to us, and then we'll make this happen.
Please.
Do it. Do it for us. Do it for the kids.
We give you free stuff every week. You can give us something.
Do it for love.
Come on. Do a Kickstarter. We'll back it.
We will back it. We will plug your Kickstarter. We'll talk about it every day.
Seriously, yeah. And next week, since this was the end of our October celebration, we'll be returning to our request list, and I think we're going back to the bottom this time. Starting at the bottom, so that's a lot of fun. Who knows what it's going to be? I don't, but Chris will tell me, and I'll be either really disappointed or really excited, or both. We'll see.
You ready? You ready for it?
So next week, we'll be watching
Kid and Play, suggested via Instagram by @NJHorror.
Oh.
We knew it was coming, man. We knew.
You warned me, and he actually reached out to us today and was talking about it, and I was like, oh, I hope it's not at the bottom still.
Oh, yeah.
But it was.
We started at the bottom, and then now we're here.
At the bottom. I hope it's good, though. You know what? I hope I'm surprised. I hope I'm pleasantly surprised.
Me too.
I don't expect to be, but I hope that I am.
Yeah, you won't be.
Yeah, well. Once again, I'm Joseph.
And I'm Chris.
We'll see you next Saturday.
Presented by Nerdsloth.
A place for lazy nerds.
If you like what you heard, consider donating at patreon.com/nerdsloth so we can continue bringing you quality shows. Be sure to also leave us a review and share your favorite episodes and clips on social media. If you're looking for more content, visit us at nerdsloth.com.